Are you tired of everything falling on your shoulders, leaving you feeling frazzled and stressed out? I want you to listen to this episode to learn how to go from being overwhelmed to delegating with confidence. By the end of this episode, you're going to know how to use delegation so you can clear things off of your plate that aren't fulfilling, so you can focus on those things that really, really light you up. Time is a resource that I don't think we value enough, and it's time to put action behind our desire to feel free and at peace. And delegation is going to help you do just that. I've used these strategies in my own life to help me learn how to delegate and what to delegate. And in the end, these strategies have helped me bring a lot more peace in my life, and I'm hoping they do the same thing for you. You don't have to do it all to have it all. Let me repeat that. You don't have to do it all to have it all. And I really want that to sink in. That is the modAmbition mantra. And it's certainly the mantra for this episode. Look, as you guys likely know, I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I'm a mom, and I have many things on my plate that I'm juggling. And one of the things that I really had to overcome in order to find more peace as I hustle towards my dreams and continue fulfilling all my ambitions was learning how to overcome this scarcity mindset that made me think that I had to do all the things. I think there was certainly a time in my life when the control freak in me felt like I had to do all the things as a mother, as a wife, as the business owner, and that things would fall apart if I didn't have my hand in every single little pot. But what I've learned over time is that what I really need to focus on and what brings me the most happiness and the most joy is focusing on things that light me up and focusing on the things that bring me closer to my goals. Enter delegating. So if you listen to last week's episode, I talked about how we can automate all those things that we want to get off of our plate. But another essential piece of the puzzle as far as getting things off your plate that don't light you up is delegation and being able to feel like you're supported, to feel like you're not in this alone. It's really part of success that we don't talk about enough. We talk about the hustle. We talk about how important it is to grind, but I don't think we have the conversations enough that talk about how we're not doing all this by ourselves, especially when you look on social media or on television and you see someone successful in life. You're like, how is Beyonce doing all these things? How is Kim Kardashian getting off her butt and just working when there's so many other things that you have to take care of in life, right? And the truth of the matter is support, a team, and a village. They're all crucial pieces of the success puzzle, and that you don't really see in that Instagram picture. You don't hear about the nanny in the Instagram reel that's telling you to keep pushing forward despite what you're going through. And it's really a lie that Beyonce has the same 24 hours as us, given the fact that the resources that she has allows for a type of support that we may not have. And the truth is, having a foundation and that support behind you as you continue to go after everything that you deserve is going to allow you to continue to strive. So today I need to talk about how you can begin to incorporate more delegation into your life, or if you're just starting off, some strategies that are going to help you get going on how to have that support you need and to do the things that really light you up. So as we jump into this episode, the first thing I want to talk about is determining what lights you up, how to figure that out. When we talked about delegating, automating, and eliminating, it's important not to eliminate, delegate, or automate those things that make you happy, that light you up, that make you feel alive. And it's also important to consider all those things that even though they may not light you up or bring you joy, they're things that bring you closer to your goals and are important to get done. So we're going to keep those two things in mind. What lights you up and what brings you closer to your goals when deciding what we're going to delegate. So firstly, let's determine what lights you up. And I like to do a deep clarification of my own values, of what's important to me and what's meaningful to me in order to keep my hand on the pulse of my own values. In my modAmbition planner, which will be launching very soon, I have a whole section in the goal setting workbook at the beginning of the planner that helps you clarify your values. So if you're interested in doing that type of work in a deeper way, be sure to sign up for the launch invite for the modAmbition modAmbition planner that's going to be launching very soon. You can just go sign up at signup.modambition.com, and you'll have access to the planner, which comes with that goal setting workbook in the beginning that includes values clarification. But for here in this episode, I want to share just a quick little exercise that can help you get started when clarifying your values if you're not sure where to start. So the simple exercise is the deathbed exercise. So stay with me. I know it sounds a little bit morbid, but essentially think about yourself on your last day, about to take that last breath, and you're thinking back over your life. When you're on your deathbed and you're thinking about life, what are the things you want to see that your life was made of? What are the most important things at the end of the day or at the end of your life that you want to look back and say, I'm so glad my life was filled with this. I'm so glad my life was filled with peace, with family, with spirituality, with achievement, whatever those values are for you. Put yourself in the position of being on your deathbed, and that's going to be a good exercise to help you get started clarifying your values, what's important to you. And like I said, if you want to take a deeper dive into the methods for clarifying your values, be sure to sign up for my planner waitlist at signup.modambition.com. Tim Ferriss, also the author of the 4-Hour Work Week, has an exercise that really is helpful in getting you started in the delegation process and deciding what's important. He says, quote, never automate something that can be eliminated, and never delegate something that can be automated or streamlined. Otherwise, you waste someone else's time instead of your own, which now wastes your hard-earned cash. So here is the method he prescribes for delegation. First, he talks about deciding on your top things that are producing your most positive emotions. Then decide the top things that are producing your most negative states. This is your not to-do list. Then from there, you're going to try to eliminate or automate these things as much as possible. You can listen to episode 16 for automation tips, and start by eliminating things that meet this criteria. They don't bring you closer to your values, or they don't light you up. Those are two things you're going to think about. If they meet both of those criteria, you're going to eliminate them. Then automate anything you can that brings you closer to your goals but doesn't light you up. Think bookkeeping. And I don't know why I did air quotes on that. Decide on the lead domino is the next step. What is the biggest needle mover in your project, or a project that makes other things unnecessary, irrelevant, or easier? Focus on this intensely, the needle mover, the lead domino, and delegate anything that you can't automate or that doesn't light you up as far as getting that project done. And now that we have talked about what to delegate, let's talk about how. Let's move into delegation strategies. Firstly, let me start with a key concept. I want you to allow yourself to invest in yourself. Remember that time is just as valuable of a resource as money. In fact, in some ways, our time is more valuable because it's not renewable like money, in the sense that we can't get our time back. So how do you delegate? Firstly, I want you to utilize your village and your people. Clearly communicate responsibilities to your partner and your children that would help you around the house, and accept beforehand that they aren't going to do things like you would. They just won't. And yes, I'm talking to you, that control freak that cringes when you watch your husband load the dishwasher because he isn't using the space efficiently. Maybe talking to myself. And a nice thing to do is to use a schedule or a routine for things you need help with, like having a family tidy up session right before bath time. Just put on a cleaning playlist, or sing clean up, everybody everywhere, clean up, everybody do your share. Layla's 2, and she already knows when I start singing this song, it means to pick up. Also, accept the help. Just accept the help, sis, especially in those busy seasons of life, like launching a new business or having a baby. I'm begging you to accept the help. Again, you don't have to do it all to have it all. Let your friend pick up the kids from school, or ask your mom to come over and watch the kids for a couple hours while you get some work done or content done. Let your husband jump in and do the meal prep for that week. It takes a village, but you have to use your village. And hire the help you need around the house, whether you commit to a weekly house cleaner or contract a lawn worker or use a TaskRabbit to put that IKEA furniture together. I want you to remember that time is also a valuable resource, and you can hire the help you need to create that village as well. As far as delegating in the workspace, I want to start by sharing an excerpt from an article on meistertask.com. They said, of course, delegating tasks can lighten your workload, but according to Dr. Scott Williams, professor of management at Wright State University, delegating does much more than just get stuff off your plate. For one, the people who work for you will be able to develop new skills and gain knowledge, which prepares them for more responsibility in the future. But delegation can also be a clear sign that you respect your subordinates' abilities and that you trust their discretion. Employees who feel that they are trusted and respected tend to have a higher level of commitment to their work, their organization, and especially their managers. So you can see how important delegation is, not just for you, but the whole organization. And trust me, I get why it's hard to delegate in business. You may be nervous to let things go or afraid someone else won't be able to do things the right way. You think you could do all things better than anyone else. And for many of us, our work is like our baby. But guess what? Just like other people are qualified to take care of our human babies, your work babies are no different. Yes, no one will have the same love and passion for your own work as you do, but they don't have to, right, to get the job done. Start with a task audit, considering the work we did early on, deciding what lights you up and what's bringing you closer to your business goals. Then decide if you want to expand your team or delegate to a contractor. If you're in the corporate setting, this may mean having a serious conversation with leadership about the help you need so you can focus on moving the needle on what's most important for your position. Or if you're in your own business for yourself, this may mean hiring an intern or virtual assistant to start if you've never hired anyone. Or you could focus on using freelancers from sites like Fiverr, Upwork, and Outsource. And what's important to remember when you're working with freelancers and contractors is that they're not your employees. They're their own businesses. So a helpful way to think about it is that you're partnering with another business on a shared goal, and align your communication accordingly that they're your partner, not your employee. And I would also keep in mind, even though they're not technically working for you and they're not your employees, it's important to form a relationship with them so that you're mindful of the way that you don't just jump into work, that this is just also another human being. For instance, any editors, designers, or assistants that I've worked with, I've always made sure to have a good working relationship with that person and to get along with them on a human level. That just makes everything easier, communication easier. And when you're up against deadlines, you know that you have a human element and a rapport to work with to get things done more efficiently and more passionately on the projects you're working on ultimately. So those are my tips on delegating so you can do more of what lights you up. I would love to end this episode by offering an intention for you this week. May you have a village around you that supports your journey to go after everything you deserve. May you keep in mind that you don't have to do it all to have it all. Thank you guys. Namaste. But you're giving me